Hi Cancer, welcome to your mid-October 2018 Tarot and Astrology reading. Gonna have this big bad full moon in your 11th house of friendships and social media, I think. Well, for some people, 3rd house of social media. For me, the 11th house a lot of the time hits on it. So some of you may be taking a detox from social media. Some of you may be removing yourself from certain friendships, certain friend circles. Some of you may have been in friendships and work relationships that were toxic, and you may be shifting gears. In the 11th house, a lot of the time, it's to do with the way we associate ourselves within a group, what role we take up, what dynamic our relationships with others of similar backgrounds and societies, how we function. You may find with this full moon that you're not completely content with the role that you play, or you may find that you are not in the the role that serves you. So start delegating. Makes sense. Ask others, including Green Tara, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So some of you may be taking on somebody else's work in the workplace. You may be taking on somebody else's issues. You may be taking on somebody else's drama, somebody else's problems. Stop for a second and reassess. That's what the full moon is asking you to do. There could be a surprise coming up in some of your relationships. Someone may surprise you. I mean, with Venus retrograding in your 5th house of romance and the Sun going into Scorpio, which is your 5th house of romance, you may find that somebody that you thought was just a friend has a bit of a crush on you, Cancer. You may be reassessing your romantic relationships in general, and the past might be getting to you. I did notice in the media, celebrity-wise, when I think of the Cancers that are going through things with this Venus retrograding in their love sector, I think of Ariana Grande, I think of Selena Gomez, and there's probably more, and I can't remember. And I think of the way the past sort of is coming up in their relationships, you know, just in a media perspective. Sometimes it's interesting to see how it affects people. Even, I'm not mad about mentioning them, but the tallest Kardashian, it's a Cancerian. A lot of people are releasing loves that don't serve them and finding the past catch up with them in terms of their feelings. So if you are going through that, Cancer, bear in mind this Venus retrograde is doing that so that you can move forward for the better in love, especially with Jupiter there. Once Venus goes direct in Scorpio, I think it's late November because it moves into Libra. It actually retrogrades back into Libra on the 31st. When it moves forward in Scorpio for November and December, you're going to have a very Merry Christmas in terms of love, okay? So if you are going through a tough time, Cancer, please bear with the stars because this is setting you up for something better. And I think you need to hear that. I actually I did Google. Well, I did look up the stars for Christmas Day, and there's, I think, one retrograde, and it's Uranus, and the forecast for Christmas Day looks really peachy, so I was looking forward to December and thinking, oh, it'll be so nice for everyone to get out of a retrograde period, so stay tight, okay? 3 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, so you're looking for growth, okay? You're looking to see where you are and what is growing and what isn't. Does this make sense with Venus retrograde? In your positive position, we have the 2 of Pentacles, so you do have options. Challenge position, though, is the 8 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles. And the outcome, 9 of Swords. Underneath, we have the 9 of Wands. Now, I am going to be going over this again 3 times, and I'm going to move the camera so you can see the cards. And, ooh, see you in a second. Alright. Cancer. Yeah, some of you are definitely going through the motions in terms of, everything. In terms of finances, in terms of romance. Now, let me see. I feel very much with the 2 of Pentacles, you're reassessing a situation. With the 3 of Wands, you could be reassessing 2 people. You could be trying to reconcile the feelings you have for more than one person. And your hopes and fears with the Seven of Pentacles, I do think you're hoping for growth and you're hoping for something that can last. The Eight of Pentacles in the challenge position, you're just not sure how to work it. You're just not sure if you have the strength for something, whether it be new or whether you can find an outlook. I feel like at the Nine of Swords, your mental health has been compromised in something. Your emotional health has been compromised. And you're feeling very anxious and you're feeling exhausted. Now, with Venus, the planet of love and finance retrograding in your sector of fun, you know, the fifth house is fun energy. You could be feeling very heavy. You could be feeling a little bit like more serious, a little bit like you're not finding the funny side in a situation. You're not laughing as much as you'd like to, Cancer. You could be worried about money. You could be worried about serious issues, and you could just be feeling very anxious and very uncomfortable with the energy surrounding this. Full moon in the 11th house. Maybe you're not feeling wildly supported and you've had to make a few changes. Venus retrograding in your 5th house. Maybe you're just not feeling the love. Maybe you're not feeling attractive. Maybe you feel like you've had a lot on your plate and you don't know how to progress. You don't know. You're trying to put in the work, but you thought you put in the work before. Okay. Seven of Cups, indecision, illusions, escapism. You want to escape from something, but you know, Cancer, this card, you know that if you try to escape from it, you're not going to have progress. So I feel like some of you are definitely fighting to stay up. But the wheel is changing. This is in your positive position. The fates are changing for the better, Cancer. Okay? 4 of Cups. You're rejecting someone or someone's rejected you and it's challenging you. And the Queen of Swords. You're going to be feeling stronger. You're going to be cutting to the heart of the matter and cutting out the deadwood. And you're going to be feeling more Queen of Swords like. If this isn't you, this could actually represent an air sign. Particularly Aquarius. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And underneath we have the Page of Pentacles. It could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But bear in mind with signs, it's more an energy thing, really. I mean, with the wheel here, we could have had Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. So just bear in mind, it'll apply to you or it won't. But I feel a little bit like you've shut off, Cancer. A little bit like you've shut down. I mean, it's funny because to have fortune in your positive sector means that good things are happening and good things are occurring. And if they don't appear to be, they definitely are starting to take shape. And the wheel is starting to spin your way. But it's almost like you're rationalizing this. Like the good things that are happening, you're sort of... It just feels a little bit like it's being overshadowed by for some of you, it's overshadowed by just a feeling. Like you just have this feeling. And that's just the cosmic energy that we have. Now, the 4 of Cups is telling me that you're rejecting help or you feel like you have to do everything by yourself, which is why Green Tower that came out before is asking you to start delegating, shift the weight around. Don't be taking on everything yourself. It's not going to serve you for the better. You need to take a lot more care of yourself, Cancer, with these cards. And I think with the Queen of Swords, you're trying too hard to shut off or appear shut off. It's almost like some of you are pushing people away on purpose because you're afraid of your emotions or you feel almost like nobody would understand anyway. 10 of Swords, you are feeling that way. Something's really disappointed you, or you're just feeling, some of you are definitely going through periods of darkness, but as with the 10 of Swords, it always lets you know that the cycle is actually over. The yellow sky, the sun is rising again over the darkness. Okay? The Knight of Swords. Some of you guys were rushing into something way too soon. Or trying to rush a decision. 6 of Cups. It could have been with a soulmate. Or it could have been somebody who returned for sure, Cancer. Venus retrograding in your past sector of love. There could be people returning for you and you're trying to fight your feelings, but you can't. Might not have been necessarily the best person. Some of you could be somebody new, be with somebody new, and someone from the past could have come back. Or they could just be in touch again, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that they're dropping at their feet and saying you're the one. Because most people don't operate that way, but this could be somebody who's returned contact. Yeah, because contact is favoured here with the Ace of Swords. I think a lot of you are dealing with an Aquarius. I mean, pardon me for mentioning a sign, because I know that sometimes it can be a little bit grating to mention signs, but it's just because each card represents them, so you get it anyway. But somebody has possibly returned and given you it almost feels a little bit like some of you have a soulmate connection that seems to be like, it's like everything went wrong. Maybe, I mean, with this, the Seven of Cups here, it is a bit of an escapist energy. So maybe, yeah, there was a lot of fighting. You're tired of fighting. Maybe you've rejected someone because you just don't want to fight with them anymore. And then with the Emperor is the outcome. Okay. Yeah. Some of you are just tired in general. Okay. Some of you are tired of fighting your feelings. For a lot of you, it's felt like one thing after another, and you're just tired of fighting your feelings and you just want to give up. You know, you're not at all excited about the things that used to excite you. Well, this is just for some of you, okay? So for those of you that aren't feeling that way, there is every possibility, and I'm sorry that I have to say this because a lot of people don't like it, but it's just Venus retrograde. You know, I'm sort of between a rock and a hard place with this one, especially when the Six of Cups returns. I do feel like there could be somebody from the past and there is an issue there that needs to be closed, or possibly an incoming soulmate that actually you know from a past life. So don't hold your past life against them. Don't hold their past life against you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can feel the energy, but you don't necessarily know why. Now, Cancer, the one thing that I want to say, and the one thing that holds chief in you, aside from the Emperor, because I'm not going to discredit him or anything, this Wheel of Fortune is in your positive position. So I'm going to give you a real boost. What is happening with you, feeling-wise, maybe even circumstance? It's a changing. Times they are a changing. The Wheel of Fortune is moving in a different direction. Fate is taking a different role. Everything is happening for a reason. That's what the Wheel of Fortune wants you to know. Timing-wise, it could have been going on for the last 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 years even. Especially with the Ten of Swords, you could have been in a very negative cycle with something or someone. And this is, for one, the time you break free. Now, I don't mean to use an Ariana Grande pun, but she is a Cancer, so we can roll with that. But this is the time you're breaking free from restriction. Okay? You've got options. You're not short of options, Cancer, of things to do, of talents to use, of connections, right? You're not short of that. And if you feel short of that at the minute, this is definitely letting you know that the universe is giving you a gift of some kind. Now, this was the October read for the first 2 weeks. The universe is working in your favor here. So even if you can't see it, it is. So whether or not someone has come back from the past and has disappointed you, or whether someone else has returned to give you closure, there is something special transpiring here. The only problem is that you don't feel the energy. You don't feel like you've got the strength to move it along. And you don't want to fight with people. You don't want to fight your feelings anymore. A lot of you do just want to give in and just relax and just take some time away. And that's cool. If you want to take some time away, be my guest, Cancer. The skies are kind of heavy, especially for water signs. With Venus retrograding there, I mean, I'm a Scorpio and I've taken down all my social media platforms because the 12th house energy and the Venus retrograding in water sign Scorpio is just very heavy. And sometimes it is nice to go and be introspective with yourself. And that's what I'm seeing here with the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords. You're taking back the parts of you that you don't have to share anymore, and you're becoming the Emperor. You are taking back control of your own kingdom. And if that means you have to go into your shell for a little bit and retreat just to get into your Emperor thinking frame, that's great. You know, the Queen of Swords is asking you to be, you know, because I look at this pair, right? And I think you need to be mentally strong. You need to work on being mentally strong because your sleep has been affected. Your mental health is possibly being compromised by the amount of stress that you've had. Or you're very worried about something. At least that's what I'm seeing here. You're worried about something. Could be a practical matter, could be an emotional matter, but you're working on trying to be stronger. You're looking after yourself first and foremost, Cancer. Venus retrograding, as I say, it's in your house of fun. It's heavy. And even the Emperor, he's kind of heavy. You know, but this is making you stronger. This is preparing you for something. The universe seems to have a plan for you, Cancer. It seems to be bigger than what you see. And underneath we have the Page of Swords. And I think there's a message for you in everything that you're seeing. Now I just want to draw one more clarifier for the Emperor. Oh, that one kind of jumped. Ah, the Magician. This is setting you up to make you more powerful. This is like recharging battery time, Cancer. So the last 2 weeks of October, because I do think November and December are going to be pretty significant. Okay? You could be dealing with a multiple set of issues at the moment, and you could have dealt with them already and just be feeling a little bit run down. But this is preparing you for something, and I'm kind of intrigued. Jupiter is going to be leaving your 5th house of fun and romance. With Venus retrograding there too. I do feel like there's going to be something happens in November that really, really, really excites you. I am seeing a strong link to Gemini, so you may have to, I don't know, maybe it's Gemini in your chart for some of you, or it's a Gemini person, but I'm getting Gemini energy, and I wonder is it maybe you'd be better watching the Gemini reading as well. Definitely look at your moon and rising to get the bigger picture, Cancer. But with the Emperor and the Magician here, you're going to be coming out of this phase, you know, this learning phase, not as an apprentice, but as a master. Taking back control of your universe and your world. Okay. And I'm sort of looking at the cards and I'm almost a little bit scared of you because I feel like you're going to become this real driving force in your life and you're not going to be looking back. So this is a temporary situation. There's definitely some sort of universal gift here. But I'm intrigued to see what happens in November, Cancer, and I will talk to you then. Bye.